What's going on, you guys? It's your boy Kaiza-Sama, and we are back with another Dokkan battle video. Now today we are taking a look at the Crimson Masked Saiyan Super Saiyan Ssj3. This guy was released in the most recent Heroes collab. Now today we are going to be taking a look at this character as he is completely rainbowed out. Some of his best linkage is going to come between Limit Breaker Vegito and Limit Breaker Super Saiyan 4 Broly. We see that mine is max link level 10, and the best links that this guy is going to correlate between is, of course, Crossover, Fierce Battle, let me see, Fear and Faith, we have the Realm of Gods, Power Beyond Super Saiyan, of course, Brutal Beatdown, what was that, Nightmare. So between him, Broly, and Limit Breaker Vegito, they all resonate pretty well in the same rotation, and you pretty much want to have them on the same team. Now once this guy actually transforms, we'll start to see a shift in his kit as the Ki plus 3 goes to Ki plus 4, and then that 180% with the attack and defense additional now goes to 200%. And not to mention, when this guy transforms, he actually guards against all attacks guaranteed, whereas in that base form of his beforehand, he only has high chances of guarding against attacks. So in today's video, we're just going to see how great of a character this guy still is. Now let's hop right into it. Alright, as we hop into this Redzone event stage against Cell, this is my first time showing the Cell event on my channel. He's a good extreme boss to go up against. He does have the healing factor, so this is a good stage to kind of showcase certain characters and whatnot. As we see on this first rotation, it is not the best. We do start out with the friend, Crimson Saiyan. He's not max link level 10 though, so that is going to be one thing that kind of holds us back here and there, but he still gets some good linkage between certain units. The LR Super Saiyan 4 Goku, he actually links very well with him because of the Power Beyond Super Saiyan, the Fierce Battles, Super Saiyan and whatnot. And then, of course, Vegito, he links very well with LR Goku, so him finishing up at the end does just fine. Now, as we see on this rotation, this is going to be one of your prime rotations that you want to see this guy in. As far as like extreme class wise, we see him with Limit Breaker Broly. They go very well with each other. As far as the Link 1 and Link 2 slots, it doesn't really matter which slot you actually have Rose in. If you just have certain orbs that are just going to fall better with certain units, and it really won't make that much of a difference, or their attacks will very much stay the same. Like this instance right here, I really had no problem with putting Rose in the second slot. Most of the time with Rose, when he's linked very well, you can get him to dish out at least anywhere between 3 and 6 million, as we just saw him deal out 5.3. So Broly, he probably does a little bit around the same, probably between like 2 mil, between 2 mil and 5 mil. And then after Rose transforms, you'll see Broly But yeah, after Rose transforms, he basically gives a buff to everybody. Now, we are now starting off this rotation with my Limit Breaker Vegito. Let me see. I was trying to experiment a little bit as far as like which slots I actually wanted to keep everybody in. Now on this one is going to be an instance where you actually want to keep Limit Breaker Vegito and Crimson Masked Saiyan close to each other as much as possible. That's just something that you want to keep in mind whenever you have him on kind of like a mixed team and you have a certain rotation that looks like this. them sharing certain links is going to help both of them out in the very end. So, excuse me. So on this one again, prime example of having him in the slot 1. We have Broly right there in slot 2. Now we see a lot of links between Crimson Masked Saiyan and Broly. Now my Crimson Masked Saiyan is probably looking like the strongest. Then we give Broly these end orbs on the end, and then we'll give Vegito these orbs. So it worked out perfectly. Now this is going to be a good stage for this rotation, being that we are type advantage. A little bit of dodge action right there. I would have to say one thing that I do like about his attacking capability is that whenever he does attack, he actually gets the additional attack and defense of 150%. It does help tremendously with that 180% that you start out with. Then you also start out with that +3 key. But that high chance of guarding attacks is probably going to be one of the things that saves you, like kind of on like in between stages. Because until he transforms, remember, he does not guard against every single attack. Alright, now that we have Goku in his active standby, with Boo covering up for him, I'll go ahead and leave Vegito in this first slot because it's not going to make too much of a difference. Now, one thing you do want to keep in mind is that a lot of the times you want to keep certain units in that slot 1 so you can have certain rotations that pop up later on with those favorable units that end up all in one rotation together. So we'll see Rose transform in this next segment right now. Alright, we ended up having both Crimson Masked Saiyans transform this turn. So this is probably going to be one of the best situations that you're going to see as far as a linkage lineup right here. We see Broly between two Crimson Masked Saiyans. Mine is pretty much like the most powerful unit in this rotation. The other one isn't going to be as powerful as mine, being that his isn't max link level, but it is rainbowed. So he helps, but he doesn't really, help as far as like matching the damage that I'm going to actually do. But as far as having Limit Breaker Vegito in the same rotation, he probably would have been a little bit more effective than this other transformed Crimson Masked Saiyan. I pretty much just said it was, the right link setup because they're all extreme units. But if you run Crimson Masked Saiyan on a super class team, like I was saying earlier, he's still going to do extremely well. But like I was saying just now, if I had Limit Breaker Vegito in this lineup, we would have dealt a hell of a lot more damage. Because that linkage between Limit Breaker Vegito and Crimson Masked Saiyan is just crazy. Him and Broly are probably like his best partners to really link up with as far as certain rotations and whatnot. This one, I'm going to go ahead and put Limit Breaker Vegito in the front. And then I'll have LR Super Saiyan 4 in the second slot. So we can just go ahead and transform him and get him up to full power. That way he can help the rest of the rotation. Now that he's at full power, like I said, he is going to help us. Let me see. Yeah, that was probably the best I could do orb-wise. Sometimes these orbs, they are not in your favor, but this is where Vegito comes in, and he just deals massive damage right there. And his additional supers are probably like one of the few things that actually helps out Crimson Masked Saiyan in certain runs, as far as like Redzone stages, Super Battle Road and whatnot, and some other recent events that came out. I would have to say between Limit Breaker, Vegito, and Broly, I can't really tell you who is like the best partner. Of course, Broly, he's gonna probably be like the number one, and then Vegito is probably gonna be number two for like the best units that you want to have, kind of like side by side next to him. Now, Cumber, I don't think we're gonna see Cumber do too much, but Cumber, he's a good unit to match up with Broly and the Crimson Masked Saiyan as well. He does get that Super Saiyan, that Fierce Battle crossover category, and then there's another one that he actually links well with him too on, I can't put my finger on it right now. Okay, so as you can see, my Crimson Masked Saiyan, now that he's been transformed, he's ran through a whole rotation now, he's dealing hella damage. Now we go on to this next stage. We are going to see a lot of the linkage between Vegito and the Crimson Masked Saiyan now. Even though this isn't my Crimson Masked Saiyan, we're still going to see, like I said, a hell of a good linkage. As we see Limit Breaker Vegito, like I said, when you have him in the same rotation with like a well sought out giant ape unit or the Crimson Masked Saiyan, he does hella damage, and then he also has the that standby attack that he actually can pull off. Let me see. Yeah, I did a terrible job on this Dokkan mode. That's not really my best feat in Dokkan. Some days you can catch me getting all 6 of them, and then some days it's kind of like this instance. You'll see me tackle down at least, I'll get at least 2 or 3. But yeah, some days it just doesn't fall through for me like that. But Limit Breaker Vegito, he damn near finishes, he finishes this stuff. So that's the one thing about Vegito and Crimson Masked Saiyan. They run very well together. And then, like I said, Crimson Masked Saiyan, he can be ran on a lot of different setups, extreme class or super class. So I hope you guys enjoyed this showcase. We are going to see this guy as he bumps up to that EZA sometime in the future. Once he actually gets that, this man is going to be a monster. But I hope you guys like the video, like and subscribe, and stay tuned for my next Dokkan Battle video. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.